So last week I made a post talking about the market and just some of the housing data that I was seeing. And I do want to talk about the competitive market that we're about to enter into. So I want to bring some clarity to some of the conversations that we were having in that thread. And so starting with, we have to remember, and I feel like we forget this, is we have to remember that there are thousands of people that are pre-approved that were priced out last year that couldn't buy a home. And so they've been waiting on the sideline. They've been keeping their approval active. They've been coached on what to do to keep in the game. And we've also been coached on what their strike point's gonna be. The strike point is, hey, listen, Mr. Borrower, when you see the interest rates come to X and prices come to X, and that means this payment is gonna be around X, that's your strike point. And so we have thousands of people waiting on the sidelines, and due to a low inventory right now, there's a new statistic that came out, and we have about 413,000 homes that are available across the nation, right? Now, we have about 12 million home buyers competing for that. So the other statistic shows that for every 1% that the interest rate reduces, 5 million buyers do enter that market. So are we heading towards a competitive market? Yes, because we do know, and we are starting to see interest rates are starting to come back down, and that is because inflation is reducing, and they have a side-by-side relationship. And so one of the things that I want to talk about, some of the data points that I'm seeing, one is a huge one. So we have 63% of the homes that are mortgaged right now, their interest rate starts with a 2 or a 3%. And then another 20% on top of that, so 84% total are starting with like a 4%. So what that tells me is that we have sellers, and I've talked with people that want to sell their home, and the question is like, why would I give up that interest rate, and why does it make sense for me to sell my house and move up, right? So that's a question, realtors, that you want to answer for your sellers. And so for you as a buyer, I'm letting you know that because I want to tell you that's the market that we're heading into. These are some of the friction points that we're going to see. And so strategy is going to be super important, being intentional on what you're buying, knowing how you're buying it, and then knowing why you're going to buy that. Ultimately, what it comes down to is that if you are thinking about buying a home this year, you want to get ready right now. And that means meeting with a mortgage advisor. We sit down, we look at where you're at. If you need some credit repair, great, we have options for that too. But it's just it's a low-key consultation. We're gonna go over everything. We're gonna go over what you can afford, what your max approval looks like. You know, what's it gonna take to bump that approval up a little bit. We're gonna talk about wealth building, what it means to leverage your equity and other investments that create passive income. So that's what we're gonna get into. And ultimately, it's gonna allow you to be an educated buyer. It's gonna allow you to jive with the agent too, because the agents that I work with, they know these things. And so we're all communicating the same thing together. Moving forward, reach out to me if you do have questions. And if you think you can't, it's never a matter of if you can buy a home, it's a matter of when. You just need the right people, the right pair of eyes that come alongside you and look at your situation and say, hey, this is what we can do. So that's just a quick little thing I wanted to get out there for you guys. Again, if you have any questions, send me a message in Messenger. You can comment on this, but always remember, just talk to Baxter. Thanks for your time.